Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name remains Grace Caps. If you're here for the first time, you're most definitely welcome to join this family. And if you're a returning subscriber, I want to use the opportunity to say thank you to you for your views, your comments, your like. They are really encouraging. Thank you so much for all the support. So this is my model for today. To start the makeup process, I decided to groom my brows first because when the brows is well groomed, it makes it easier for you to draw the brows perfectly. So I just went underneath and on top of it to clean and give a proper shape to it. I don't like a very thin brows, so I allowed it to be its normal shape after trimming it. So the next thing I did was to just clean her face thoroughly because a lot was on the face. Aside that a lot was on the face, it's very important that you clean the face with face cleanser, because using only wipes doesn't really work, but if you use a face cleanser, it can help to take out all the dirt on the face. So the next thing I did is to apply my moisturizer, which is from Blossom Cosmetics. I've been using this moisturizer for a long time and I really do like it. I've said it before. If you have oily skin, if you have dry skin, if your skin is neutral, like you're just in between oil and dry, you can actually use this moisturizer because it is water based, so it works for all skin type. So after applying with the brush, I used my hand to massage it into the skin so that the skin can absorb this product very well. Then I went in with my Tehila spray primer. So this is actually, they call it airbrush primer. I sprayed it all around the face. I've talked about this product before. It's not really mattifying, but it's blurring. It's not primer that you go with when you want to do very mattifying look. So because I didn't go with a very mattifying primer, I added my Zaron oil control primer on the face. Yeah, so this is mattifying, and I would advise that if you have a very dry skin, you can just apply it on your T-zone. If you have this primer, only on your T-zone areas where you know pumps oil easily. But if you have an oily skin, I think it will work for all over the face. So because I didn't go with a mattifying primer, I had to apply everywhere and then blend it. So I used my Younger Beauty foundation in shade 10 and in 9. Yeah, so after mixing it, I added my makeup seal from Hager and Esther into it. I've explained it before. It helps to lighten the foundation and also allow the foundation to stay matte on the face. So after mixing the foundation first, like if you looked at the first application, you see that it was lighter. I noticed that it was way lighter than her body. It was giving this whitish undertone somehow. So I went back in and added a lot of the 10 to neutralize it, because her face is way darker than her body is lighter, so I needed to match her body and her face together. So I went with the face. So I applied it with the brush. That brush you saw is what I use in applying it round, and then I went in with my beauty blender to just seal it up. So that's how I actually do my foundation application. Then for the blush, I'm using my Eye Magic lipstick palette. So I'm taking 3 colors from it, you can see, and the last color is a red. So I'm mixing these 3 colors together to get my blush. So I added a lot of the red and then blend it together with my brush and apply it. I've tried applying my blush directly on the face before, and in some cases it gives me these patches on the face. So when I use my brush to apply it, like use my brush to really rub it and then apply it on the face, it gives a very light, beautiful look. So I'm stuck with using brush at this point because I can't go back to the one that was stress me. So I like to use brush, and then I will go back in with my beauty blender to blend it out. And when I go back with my beauty blender, I don't just go in with the empty beauty blender like that. I still use the beauty blender to touch the product that I'm applying and then go over it. The reason it sometimes, because the beauty blender is empty, it will pick the one on the face already. So because I don't want to pick the one that is on the face, I will rather go in with beauty blender with a little product. And now I am going to highlight her under eyes. So I mix the foundation and the concealer together. The darker shade is the foundation, the lighter shade is the concealer, so that it will tone the concealer down a little bit because it was a bit too bright. And then I started applying it. So if you've been seeing my video again, you will know that I like to use my brushes and then go in with my beauty blender. It's just normal for me. Yeah, but you can still use your beauty blender to apply to do this process if you don't have enough brush. But I just like to use my brush. It works better for me. And because our under eye is a bit deep, this brush could not really go in, so I had to go in with a smaller brush so that I can get underneath the eye very well, so I don't go and blend and put brushes into her eyes. So I had to go with a smaller brush so that, and because she's also on a very long lashes, so I didn't want my brush touching the lashes as well, so I had to go with a smaller brush to get the application or to get to the under eye properly. So please guys, don't forget to leave a comment on this video and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so. Please, I really will appreciate if you leave a comment on this video. Tell me what you like about this video. Tell me if there's any product I used that you want. You can let me know. I'll do my best to put everything in the description box so that you will know the product that I am using. Yeah, I showed some of them, but at some point I didn't show some of them. So the ones I did not show, I'll try to put them in the description box so that you will know the product that I used. So I'm just applying the product or the concealer in all the places that I want to highlight. Then after blending it thoroughly with the brush, I'll go in with the beauty blender and just dab, and then I will contour before I set the under eye. So for the contour, sometimes I go with 2 shades, 1 shade, depending on who I'm working on, the kind of skin tone I'm working on, and what my clients want. I don't just do what I want with my clients, especially for a model, because I have a look in mind. I can do what I want, but when it comes to my clients, I always go with what they want. So after applying the concealer underneath the eyes or all the highlighted places, I always go over with my beauty blender like I explained before. So for the contour, I always go with 1, 2, at most, which sometimes I don't do it, at most 3 shades darker. But in this case, I'm going with 2 shades darker. And I'm going to apply it with a very light hand. Like I'm going to take a little of it and blend it all around the spaces, the areas that I want it to appear. So this is like 2 shades darker than the foundation. It may not be showing like that in the video, but that is what it showed when I was applying it. So it's like 2 shades darker than the foundation, because I don't want a black line on the face or on the nose. So the products you're using, sometimes it may be a bit too dark, but the amount you take when you're applying will determine how pronounced it will look or appear on the face. So the product might be too dark, might be too light, but the little you take it or the more you pick it to apply will determine how it will show on the face. So that's just it. So after blending on the side of the face, I went over it with the brush and just blend on the hairlines rather. Yeah, then I'm contouring the nose now with that same product that I used It's actually a Nuban. I don't know if I showed you guys. It's Nuban concealer. I didn't check the shade, but I'll put it in the description box so that you guys will know that that is what I used. So I'm just using a small angle brush to contour the nose from the brows to the T-zone. Yeah, so my contour is, I hardly just draw the line or place the product then blend. I always put it and blend, put and blend. It's normal with me like that, because sometimes most of the product dries so fast that before you will not think of going over to blend it, they are stuck, they're already very dry, and you trying to blend it, it might open the skin, or it might not really move the way you want, so it makes it difficult. So I just like to apply my product and blend at once. It is how it works for me. Yeah, so to set underneath the eyes, I use this powder from Flawless Ivy to set. But there's something I noticed while I was setting. I noticed that she's a very dry, oily skin, and then the foundation, the product underneath the eye or the highlighted places were not really matte. They still had the wetness was still very much visible. So when I tried to set underneath the eyes with this powder, I noticed that it didn't really work. Like I set, after I set, it was still not as dry as I wanted it. So I went over it with my setting powder from Blood Cosmetics, because the setting powder is the same shade with the powder that I used first to set the under eyes, and then I still went into bake the under eye here. So after I set with this, I still went into bake with a lighter shade of powder. You're going to see it. Yeah, so before I set, because of this opening up eye and looking down the fold, there's already lines underneath the eye, so I had to just ask her to look up, which is very important, and blend it before I set it with my powder. So that is just what I'm doing right now. Please guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, please. I really do appreciate, and leave a comment on this video. Tell me what you like about this video, tell me what you love about it, anything about it, just let me know. I would really be in the comment section waiting for you guys to tell me your review on this look, please guys. And if you want to see how I created other looks that is on my page, you can as well go through the videos and watch. There are so many things there. I'm sure you can learn one or two things from it. Yeah, so this is the setting powder part that I went back in to set. So I just further push it in so that those areas can dry very well. So that is basically how I did this look. On a normal day, if I set with my powder, I don't go back in with setting powder except I want to bake. But like, I don't do 3 times underneath the eyes, but in this case it was necessary to do it so that the under eye will not be looking very dewy. Yeah, because if the under eye is dewy and you're doing anything around the eyes and she cries, tears drop, is going to open it. So that's the reason why it's just very important that you set underneath the eye very well and then bake if you want to. Yeah, but the setting part, you need to really do it properly. So I still use the same powder, or the setting powder from Blood Cosmetics, to powder the rest of her face, because it is her exact powder shade. In the video it's not looking like it, but on ground it's her exact powder shade. So I just use the powder around the face. And another thing I notice is this: if you don't have enough light, or if the light is hitting the face directly when you're doing your makeup and all the rest, I don't know, but I'm just going to say it, it picks on the product. So sometimes it looks like the face is brighter than the neck. Sometimes it is like that for some people because of um, their shade picking. They don't shade match very well, but sometimes it is because the light is hitting on the face very well more than the body, so it makes the body looks like it is darker than the face, but it is not. So after that, I still went in with my powder from um, Beauty by AD and just blend round, little amount of it round to just seal everywhere. And then I baked with my nutmeg from um, Merak Cosmetics. So that's just how I did it. So like I was saying before now, if you're using a smaller light and you're doing makeup, especially process videos, because the light is hitting on the face directly, the body is now left behind. It looks like the body is darker than the face, but the truth is it is not in most cases, aside people that do wrong shade matching. Yeah. So sometimes when you do makeup, you look at why is this person say looking brighter than the person's body. Sometimes it's just the light. The light is not enough to hit everywhere so that there will be uniform in everything that is happening. But yeah, that's just how it is. So I'm working on the brows now because I've already groomed our brows to the shape that I want. I didn't, if you look at the brows very well, you notice that I did not reduce it more than the way it should. I just clean underneath, so I have a perfect shape. So I'm just going to go directly under the line of the brows and create a line. And the same thing I'm going to do for the top. I'm creating a line exactly where her hair ends and just connect it to the tail. Now because the tail part of the brows is always slim and empty, it's now left for you to create a smaller tail or your arc or a bigger arc. Is a choice. So because of the size of brows I'm going with the body of the brows from the front to the arc, there's enough hair, so I'm just going with that size, and then I will just draw the brows like I'm doing, and then I will fill it in. This brow pencil I'm using is from King Beauty King. Yeah, it's from Beauty King. So they have different shades. This is like the second to last shades. Yeah, the middle. They have a lighter shade, they have a medium shade, and they have a very dark shade that looks like black, and it's very pigmented. I've said it before in my video. It's very, very pigmented, very nice. So I am in love with the brow pencil. I always use it at the studio. Yeah, so I just to line and blend, fill it in. Like I've said before, when it comes to brows, because I'm always very conscious of my brows, I don't like too many mistakes. So when I'm trimming the brows, I like to trim or groom the brows the way the person's brow is, and because I like a full brow, so I don't take too much excess, too much hair from the brows. I just do what's the code, clean up. Yes, I always call it clean up. I just clean under and on top of the brows so that the main body of the brows will be very visible. So the same thing I'm going to do here, go underneath the line of the brows. I'm not increasing nor reducing, I'm going directly underneath the brows, and I'm trying to make the both brows look the same. If there's any excess under or on top of the brows that makes it look like it's too big, it's too small, especially when it is too big, I always, especially when it is too big and it's on top, if I want to conceal on top of the brows, I go in with my foundation, because I don't like the top of my brows looking white or different from the product on top of it. So I like to just go in with my foundation, which is very easy for me. It's easy to blend, and it just, everything will just blend into each other. after using your brush or applying it. So this is just how I draw my brows. It's just very simple for me. It's simple, except if the person does not have enough hair and all the rest. But if you have enough hair, it's just very simple for me to just go in, fill it in, and that's all it is, all there is when it comes to my brows application and all. So after this, I'm going to conceal underneath the brows, because I've gotten exactly the shade, or the size rather, that I want. I'm just going to go in and just conceal the brows, and then I'll go in with my um eyeshadow primer and my eyeshadow here. So to conceal the brows too, I go directly under the line that I create, and I use a smaller brush that I can control, a flat smaller brush. That way it is easier to just create a straight line under the line of the pencil line that I have created already. So after creating this straight line, and then blend, and then I will set. So most times when I am doing brows before eyeshadow, after blending it, sometimes I don't set until I'm done with my eyeshadow, but sometimes I set. So whichever way it works for me. Yeah. So another thing I want to mention is, if you don't have concealer as well, you don't have to kill yourself. When it comes to makeup, a lot of things you can improvise. You can use the foundation to conceal your under eyes. If you have a lighter concealer, you can mix it with your foundation. You can just improvise. It works better. Sometimes you don't have to have everything before you feel like you have full makeup product before you can start your own makeup tutorial or do your makeup before you go out and all. A lot of things work these days. It's just a little observation and advice. Yeah, so I did the same thing on the other side of the eye. Yeah, the same way I concealed. So nothing too much. That's why I didn't show it. Now for my eyeshadow, I went in with my base, a white base from Louise Cosmetics. My phone was very low, so I had to do this eye off camera, but I want to show you guys how I did it. So I went in with a lighter shade of orange, kind of, or peach. Yeah, this is peach. A lighter shade is in between peach and orange, and then I just blend it all around from her crease to her brow bone. Then I went in with a more darker shade, or a little darker than this first transition color that I am using, to blend in the crease so that the color can actually pop more than it is now. So I'm going to show you guys in the eyeshadow palette. That's the second color I am using, and that is Eye Magic palette. Yeah, Eye Magic Cosmetics. That's the eyeshadow palette that I'm using. So I'm just blending in with another small brush, and when it comes to the crease work, I like to use different, or when it comes to eyeshadow work, I like to use different eyeshadow brushes according to the places that I want the product to be, so that I can really control the brushes that I'm using. So after applying the second color, then I went in with a brown color still in the crease, and I'm just applying and blending, applying and blending. Remember, to save yourself trouble, take your colors bit by bit, build your colors. Always remember this when you're doing your eyeshadow work. Build your colors. Don't go and pack colors and put on your eyes or on your client's eye. No matter the look you're creating, build your colors. That way you can control how it comes out, and how it comes out. Yes, how it appears. If you want to increase, you can always increase it. You can know when to stop. Yeah, because if you don't, if it overpowers you, the next thing you will do is to clean it, and it will not tell good on you, especially when you're a makeup artist, or even on yourself. It will not be really nice. So after applying the brown everywhere, I just blend it. And then I went in with my base again to just increase it on the eyelid before I go in with the color that I am using now. Now there is, because I waited for a while before I continue this makeup process because I had other things I was doing, I now picked a wrong color. So the color I picked first is actually different from the first color I used on the other eye. So what I did is, because I cannot clean it, I had to go over it with the main color that I used first on the left eye. I don't know if you guys understand. I picked a wrong color for this eye now that I'm working on, and it was now a bit darker than the other eye that I've already done. So what I did was to go over it with a lighter color, or the color that I used first, and I went in with another lighter color just so that they can come together and be the same. Yeah, so I just say I should let you guys know in case you notice that the colors are not looking the same. So after that, I bronze the face with my Morphe bronzer. For you, if you don't have this palette, because it's actually not cheap, if you don't have it, you can use your powder. I use my powder a whole lot, especially when I'm doing makeup on myself at home, because these products are always in the studio, and if I'm doing makeup on myself at home, I want to bronze, I use my powder palette because I have other shades of powders in my powder palette. So those dark shades that have different undertones can go for your bronzing. Yeah, it mustn't be something too expensive and all. It can work for your bronzing. Even eyeshadow sometimes, depending, but I recommend powders from your powder palette for your bronzing. Yeah, so I'm just blending. I blended everywhere, the contour, the highlight, the contour, the blush. I blended all that part, and then I blended it down to the jawline so that it can be uniform. And then the next thing I did, or I am doing now, is to increase the blush aspect. So I'm using the orange color blush, and then I just added it up because I was not going to do too much. I didn't do too much blush. So for the lip, I'm using this dark matte lip stick lipstick from Beauty by AD. I'm just going to align the lip very well. Then I will, it's actually an ombre lip I'm doing, so I like a darker outline on the lip. After that, I'll go in with a lighter peach. No, it's pink. It's in between pink and peach on the lip, like in the middle of the lip. Yeah, so I used a color from that my eye magic lip palette that I used before now to do her blush, in the same lip palette that I'm going to use to do the nude. It's not even nude, to apply the other color in the lip. So I'm just outlining the lip. After applying it or lining it, I always go back in to blend so that all the part that I've applied or lined will look the same or uniform or well blended. Some parts will not be looking highly concentrated, highly visible, and some part looking less visible. Yeah, so I'm just trying to explain for you guys to know so that you understand that that's just what I am doing. You can see the way it was before I started blending and the way it is now after blending. So after drawing the line, sometimes I don't just, if I blend and it doesn't work or it's not coming out the way I want, I still use that blending brush to take a little product and then use it to blend it out here. So you can see the two colors that I picked. I mix them together and I'm just applying it in the middle of the lip, and then I'll blend it because I want it to be very visible. I apply a lot of it and then I'll blend the edges. Then to gloss it, because I want to maintain the middle color, this light color that I'm applying, because I want it to be there. I don't want it to move. I want it to still be very visible I went in with a nude lip gloss first before applying round a plain gloss or a um what is it called again, um transparent white gloss. I don't know if that's the name I'm supposed to use. I just I just forgot the exact um name that we usually call it, but I went in with a plain gloss, transparent gloss. Yeah, so I blended everything together, yeah, just so that they look the same. I use both brushes, go in and out, so that there will not be demarcation between where the light color in the middle and where um the brown stops. So you just try to push both of them together, the edges, so that it will look like they transit into each other. There's a transition going on from this color to this color. Yeah, so that is just what I am doing. Lip is another thing that one needs to be really careful, especially when you're trying to do something standard. You have to be very conscious of what you're doing. So this is the nude that I applied on the video, so that it will lift it up. Now if you use a clear gloss, yes, this is the name I was looking for, clear gloss. If you use a clear gloss on a nude, it's the nude will just be there. It's not like it's bad, but the nude will just be there. And some clear gloss kills nude, the nude color that is on the lip. But because you want the lip, if you want the lip to be very very visible, like the nude on the lip to be visible, go in with a nude gloss first before you can now go over the first color, which is the one you use in lining the lip. Depending on the color that you use to line the lip, you can just go back with that same color to go over it. It's just like when you're doing a red lip. If you want the red to be enhanced, it's good that you go back with a red gloss. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So you can see how the nude is now. If I had gone used a clear gloss on it, it will still be there, it will still pop, but it will not be as vibrant as it is now, because I have used a nude gloss on it. Yeah, so I just said I should explain and let you guys know the reason why I always go with clear gloss. So the next thing I did is just to set around the face. I didn't put a lash on her because she already have lash on it. So I used this glue from Beauty by Edie and just glue her cheek with my brush. So you can see I don't do too much glue except it is demanded by my client. So that's just what I'm doing, and that is just how this look appeared, or this is the way it is. Yeah, so you can see the final look, the brows, the eyeshadow. Which of these will you be rocking? Will you rock the lip? Would you rock the eye? Or which do you like? Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.